Hi everyone. Let me start the recording. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining the session. Let's start our FortiGate Firewall, right, session, and we'll try to understand basic concept of the FortiGate firewalls. Okay, so I can see Rajesh, Rohit, Sanjeev, Shivam, Sayed. Okay, thanks everyone for joining the session. So basically, what we'll start today?
Vishal, once again.
Yes.
Vishal, actually, I'm in another meeting only. I'm keeping mute only. I'm listening. Okay.
Okay, no problem, no problem,
Sorry.
no problem. So, guys, what we're going to discuss today, as we had a brief discussion about the course content in the previous sessions. So now we are going to discuss about the fundamental of the firewalls, where we'll try to understand what is the next generation firewalls and how this next generation firewall is going to work. And especially about the FortiGate architecture point of view, we'll try to understand what are the key features we have in the FortiGate firewalls and how this FortiGate firewall is very much popular nowadays in the market. Additionally, also we'll try to understand if any packet is going to receive by the FortiGate firewall, then how it is going to be treated by firewalls, right? Every packet, how the policy enforcement is going to be happen, how the NAT is going to be happen, how the content inspection is going to be happen, how different vulnerability, virus, DOS protections, everything like whatever just firewall is going to do for the any packet, that will definitely try to understand this as well. Okay. So welcome to the session, and this is our FortiGate next generation firewall. Why it's next generation? Because they have the advanced feature. It can inspect your layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7 and content and other information as well while just processing any packet. So this have the lot of capabilities, and we'll try to explore one by one each and every capabilities. So basically we have discussed about the course content, and just quickly I'm briefing about. So total there is 12 module is going to be covered throughout these sessions, and we'll discuss about the platform architecture, initial configurations, routing on the FortiGate firewall. And in this routing, we'll try to discuss about the all advanced feature of the BGP, OSPF, RIP, static route, connected route, and we also see how it is going to be redistributed from one routing protocol to another routing protocols. Firewall policies, NAT, we have a lot of NAT types. We'll discuss security policies, FortiGate AD, we have the passive authentication, we have the active authentications. We are going to discuss about the AD VPNs as well. In IPsec VPN, we are going to discuss about the AD VPN concept as well. So for that also, so there is multiple concept. We have the client to side VPN plus AD VPN as well. So this all is going to be covered. So we'll try to explore each and every parameter. SLVPN, again, it's a client to side VPN. High availability, it's a active passive and active layer 2 firewall, virtual domains, everything is going to discuss. So technically, NAC4 is fully going to be configured, means like configured and tested, and also we're going to be discussed. And along with that, some part of the NAC5 and some part of the NAC7. So means only the SD-WAN part is not going to be covered. And the part who required like a 40 analyzer you want to integrate, so you require the license. So that is not going to be covered. Rest for the NAC5, NAC4, and NAC7, everything is going to be covered throughout these sessions, right? And if you just go and check the detail, so we have the different terminology, malware, firewalls, about Fortinet, installation in the EVNG. So I'll explain, and also dashboard, initial configuration, interfaces, zone, virtual wire, administrative access, DNS server, policy basically MAC base, policy basically local user base, and NAT you have a lot of type of NATs. So we have to invest a lot of time here because you guys have to understand about the NAT, each and every concept, because multiple flavor available in the FortiGate. If you compare with the other NAT policy in Palo Alto, we have the four type of NAT: source NAT, destination NAT, dual NAT, U-turn NAT. So similarly in FortiGate also we have the SNAT, DNAT policy and NAT overload lab. That's a PAT. And also we have the one-to-one NAT, fixed port range NAT, hairpinning NAT. So we'll try to understand those all concept. And along with that NAT fundamental, we are going to discuss about that as well. After that, we'll just have to discuss about the most advanced feature, that is security profile. like AV, antivirus, web filtering, DNS filtering, application control, intrusion prevention, system inspection mode, NGF developer firewall mode. So next generation firewall mode, and also FortiGate AD and passive AD. That real AD integration, we'll see that. And then we'll see the VDOMs. What is a VDOM? How it is going to be configured. Then we'll discuss about transparent mode, virtual wire, software switch, SNMP, access lab, backup restoration, syslog integration with the FortiGate firewall. So I'm going a little bit faster because this is just the course content, right? So I just wanted to just recap what all module we are going to discuss throughout the journey. And VPN concept, we have, you can see a lot of site-to-site VPN, client-to-site VPN, IPsec VPN, SL VPN. So these also, and remote access VPN, based on the portal, based on the clientless VPN and client-based VPN, that also going to be discussed. High availability, active, passive, and active. And then like, this is how your course is going to be designed and you're going to get that. But most important, let's not discuss too much on the courses. Let's discuss about the key concept of the firewalls. That's the most important, guys. Right. So let me just demonstrate about, like, if someone is going to ask you about the firewall, so you just have to visualize as well, like how the FortiGate firewall is going to be look like. Means physical appearance also you have to decode about the FortiGate firewall. So if I just open the browser, let me open it, and you just go here and search about FortiGate firewall. So if you're joining first time, right? So if I'm using the term FortiGate, right? So FortiGate is the firewall. So there's two terms. One is the FortiGate and one is the Fortinet. So FortiGate is the firewall, like firewall module we call the FortiGate. Fortinet is the company. So you can see here is the Fortinet. So it's a company name. This company have the multiple products, right? So they have the switch, they have the router, they have the proxy, they have the VPNs, they have the webmail, Forti clients. Similarly, they have the one of the firewalls that is known as the FortiGate firewall. Okay. So basically, we are going to discuss about the FortiGate firewall. That's the part of the Fortinet company. So that you just have to be understand. So you don't have to be confused. What is the Fortinet? What is the FortiGate? So let's suppose you have the requirement. You have to understand how basically I want to understand how the physical appearance is going to look like the FortiGate firewall. So basically, in our lab, if I just show you, you are going to find this lab is going to be open, and then after that, in this lab, if you're going in the FortiGate firewall, so you are going to get a lot of firewalls, right? So in our lab, basically the firewall we are going to use, that is the virtual firewall. So what is the virtual firewall and what is the hardware based firewall? That also we have to understand, guys. So right now, because everything is moving in the cloud, right? And also it's people are just preferring like to use the virtual instance instead of the physical instance to just save the cost. So to just save the cost, we require some virtual instance, right? Why it is going to save your cost? Because when you are going to purchase the multiple devices, let's suppose you have a requirement to purchase the router. Wait, you just have a requirement to purchase the router. You have to purchase the switch. You have to purchase the firewalls. You have to purchase the servers and other devices, like you have to purchase multiple router, multiple switch. You have to purchase about the other devices. So every hardware have the special cost, right? But what if I, and also they require the power, right? They require the power. You need to require the cooling as well. You require to give the air conditions, and also you need to hire a lot of engineer who can just manage these firewalls in case of any problem is going to happen. So you have to make sure someone is available on the site to take care of the devices. So might be local IT person is there, but remotely you have the different engineer. That engineer is still going to be required in the case of the virtual. But in the case of the physical, probably you have to someone should be skilled who can just take care of the physical logs, take care of the any kind of the upgrade activity which is required from the locally. So if we have that much kind of the hardwares and if you want to deploy, so every hardware having the cost. So you have to purchase individual hardwares, which is going to make you the high cost. So probably if you're going to purchase 10 devices physically, so it is going to be, might be just example, uh, 10,000 US dollar, right? Just an example, right? But what if I can purchase one server and this server having the very high capacity and I can just give the 5,000 USD. So my half of the price has been cut because server is one single device. This is going to require the limited power. Okay. Because earlier 10 devices are going to be there who all require the power, who all require the air conditions. But now I have the single server. This single server is going to be basically use a one power source or might be dual power source, and also they are going to require the very less cooling player because cooling capacity, because they are just having a limited kind of the dimension and all. But inside of this server I can host multiple devices. Means I can probably host the one firewall. This is my firewall. I can host the router. I can host the might be the switch, or might be I can host the virtual server as well. So in this particular one server, we have the multiple kind of devices, and that all are going to base on the virtual machine. These are the virtual machine. So exactly they are going to do the same work, what the firewall can do the physically, what my router can do the physically, what my switch can do the physically, what my server can do the physically. But they have the special instances going to be created on the server side. Might be they are going to get some dedicated RAM. They are going to get dedicated storage. That is my hard drive, SSD, or might be they are going to get the vCPU as well. So 16 GB RAM, uh, 100 GB, like you have the SSD, and vCPU might be you have the 18. So this kind of allocation you are going to do that, and they are going to give the similar kind of the user experience what the physical firewall can work. Only the resources are going to be taken from the server side. So this deployment is basically known as the virtual deployment, right? Is it clear? So nowadays, the firewall you are seeing here, this is also working in the virtual deployment, right? Means we have the server, the Gwinnett company have a data center. This data center have the server, big server. This big server, there is multiple hardware deployed. Means we can deploy the firewall. Means I need a two firewall, so I can deploy the firewall one, and this is the firewall two. And also I can deploy, this is a switch, so I can deploy the switch. I need a window PC, so I can deploy the PC as well, right? So you can deploy the multiple devices, but from where they are getting resources? They are getting resources from the physical server, which have might be the 512 GB RAM, or might be the 4 terabyte SSD, and other might be you have the 48 core CPU and all. So from there, they are inheriting the hardware capabilities, and virtualization technology is going to use to just make sure VM is going to work inside of the physical server. So for that, I need to give the power one device, that is server, but still these devices are getting on, all are working perfectly fine. So they are getting a power from the server because server have the main power source. If server is cool, this device is also going to be cool. If server have the space, then this device is also going to be like have the free space and all. But when you talk about the physical devices, right? So you have to sometime understand how my physical devices are going to be look like. Meanwhile, anyone have any questions till here? Matlab, you guys understand what that means, how the virtualization is going to be happen. Probably see, nowadays it's very important, guys, to understand about the virtualization because everything is moving on the cloud. So you have to little bit understand how the virtual switch is going to be happen, how the virtual firewall is going to be happen, how the deployment method is going to happen. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask me so I can just reply quickly. Anyone? Are all good? Okay, so I'm just considering everyone good. But in case it is,
It's Rajesh man.
yes, Rajesh.
Can you please little just can you please discuss a little bit just to like connect back
So Rajesh, I am
what we
talking
discussed.
about, yes, I am talking about how the virtual firewall is going to deploy. Either it's any firewall, might be it's a Palo Alto firewall, it's a FortiGate firewall, right? Or might be it's a checkpoint firewall, or might be Cisco ASA firewall. Any firewall, there is two method of deployment. One is that firewall can be your virtual firewall or can be your hardware firewall. So it could be any method. But right now I'm talking about the virtual firewall. If I have the virtual firewall, so I need to purchase one of the big server, and inside a big server, I need to build the different VMs. And these VMs have the different kind of resources so that I can deploy these firewall inside of those resources. This is what I just discussed. And they will
Okay, okay.
inherit the resources directly from the server side.
So it should be any specific server you have to purchase, or it's like IOA, I mean, OS perspective, Windows or Linux OS, any perspective.
So
That's
the
question.
server could be any configuration. They are going to support any kind of operating system. If
Okay,
you are going to deploy the Linux, it is going to support. If you're going to deploy the Windows one, it is also going to support. So it's up to you, being administrator, which operating system you want to deploy on this.
okay.
So on bare metal, you can deploy the Linux, or might be on the bare metal you want to deploy the Windows. It is also possible. If you want to deploy CentOS, it is also possible. Okay.
Okay.
So
So
operate.
here that the physical port, how they will connect? They will get a one port from the servers. How the connectivity will
Yes,
be
yes.
there?
So let me show you. Let me show you.
Yeah.
So let me show you. That's a good question. How the physical is going to happen.
Yeah.
So let me show you. Let's suppose this is your server, right? You
Yeah.
purchase this is a Dell server from the any Dell company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is your front panel, and let me see. This is your back panel. Okay. So let me see. This is your back panel, right? So now let's suppose you can mute. You have a lot of background noise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This. So let's suppose this is your server, right? And how this is going to happen. So let's suppose inside of this server, you are going to deploy. Let me use some different color. Whether it's a good question. So let's suppose you want to deploy one firewall here, right? You want to deploy one router inside of the server. This is your R1, right? You want to deploy one switch as well, right? You want to deploy another firewall as well here. So firewall 2, firewall 1. So how they are going to make the communication to each other? That's the one thing you have to understand. The second thing, how my physical connectivity is going to be out. So let's suppose you are going to make sure your firewalls going to talk to the internet ISP. So your ISP link is going to come. This is your ISP. Might be you have taken from the Verizon or AT&T. This link is directly going to say, you can see there are some ports. You can see these are the ports. The RJ45 pair. These are the your spare ports. These ports you can install the GB card. So if you are going to install the GB card, you are going to get the fiber ports as well. So you have two options. If you have the more than 10 GPS link, so yeah, 10 GPS link, so definitely you have to use the GB cards. If you have the 1 gigas link, so you can directly terminate the circuits on this particular ISP. So what is going to happen? Every traffic directly going to come for the internet on this particular port. Further, inside of server, we have the vSwitch. This vSwitch have the internal networking with all devices based on the VLANs. Might be you're going to get VLAN 10, 20, and 30. And you can do even the routing as well within the server. So vSwitch is going to make sure like whatever the VLANs you created, they are going to communicate each other. And when these VLAN are wanted to talk internally, they can talk internally without any problem. But if they want to go on the internet, right? So how they can go? Then their vSwitch is going to connected internally with this particular ports, and from these ports it is going to the internet. So basically, your physical ports are going to be your one of the termination point. By using that termination point, you can get out from the server. but internally your device is going to be talk to each other. Is it clear, Rajesh? You understand?
Yeah, clear. So it's all happening through vSwitch only.
Yes, all happening through the vSwitch only,
I
right?
had some doubt. That's today I cleared. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So you can see this is the backplane of the servers, and you can see this is the fan. You can apply the power supply on this.
That only.
Here is the RJ45 connection. You can use that. That is your like LAN
Van,
cable, LAN or WAN cable you can
van
connect.
cable. Yeah.
Or if you have the GBIC also, 2 GB you use the SFP.
Yeah.
So
Got
this
it.
is going to use for the fiber. But if you require more, here is a slot also available. You can use the slots, and these are your hard drives.
Okay. Got it.
And RAM is going to be installed also inside of the server. Here also you can install the GBIC because we have the lot of the space, right?
Got it. Got
So
it.
this is how here is also you have the power supply, and these are the fans. So this is how your server is
Dual
going to.
power supply.
And if I go further, if you just go here, you can see the front panel, and this server can be your one is a tower servers and one is the rack mounted servers. So these servers are rack mounted server. And what are the tower servers? If you go here, let me show you. These are basically tower servers, which is going to stand like this one. Okay, see,
Yeah, yes. Like a
this is
big
tower
things.
server, yeah, and this is a rack mounted server. So
Yeah.
this come as a 1 RU, 2 RU like that.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Now moving to the next, if you have to understand this is the virtual firewall, how it is going to be deployed, and this is going to be same for the Palo Alto, same for the any firewall, any router. The same concept is going to use. So you can just refer this concept from anywhere. Now let's suppose you want to understand how my physically FortiGate firewall is going to be look like, right? So how basically I can check that. So if I go here, image, and you can see a lot of images are available. So let me just open one of the image. Let me see if I can find very good image. Yeah. So let me just close it. I don't want to purchase right now. So you can see this is the FortiGate firewall, and they have a lot of LAN and WAN port and console port. So whenever you're going to purchase the FortiGate firewall, you're going to get a similar kind of boxes where you're just going to find the your Fortinet company name, and the firewall is the FortiGate. You can see this is the FortiGate firewall, and this is the model of the firewall. This is the 60F, 50F, 70F, 80F, 90F. So different model we have. Different models have the different functionality, which I'll discuss later on. Means which if you just want to compare with the product matrix, which firewall is having what kind of the capabilities. So we'll discuss that. Sasank, can you just stop notations on the screen? So this is how you can verify. So you can see 40F, 60F, 70F, 80F. So a lot of version of the firewall is available. So I'll explain after some time. But if I want to just see how my physical firewall is going to look like, and what are the key component in front of my physical firewall. So you can see the very first component, you have the power source, because this is a small range of the firewall. So you have the very small kind of the power supply here, 12 volt. Here is a USB cable. So power you can get from here. So you want to turn on the firewall, so you need to power supply. That is going to happen via this section. You want to connect the USB port. This USB port can be used for the multiple purpose. Let's suppose you want to some copy the parameters, means any certificate, any kind of the ROS, any kind of the license key, so that you can do that. And similarly, if you want to take out some information from the firewall to the your USB drive, that is also going to be doable. Console cable is something which is going to give you the console CLI connectivity, right? And by using that CLI connectivity, you can basically take the CLI access of the FortiGate firewall, right? Just hold on. So you can just get the your CLI access of the FortiGate firewall. So basically what you have to do that, you just have to connect one of the PC here. This PC have the console cable. And after that, you just have the terminal, might be the putty or secure CRT. You need to install that. And after that, you can basically take the console access of this firewall. So this is how it is going to be happen. So this is your console. Now, after that console, we have some other ports. So you can say this is a reset port. Means you want to make the factory reset of the firewall. So you just have to press this for the 3 to 5 seconds. It is going to reset the firewall. So the entire configuration is going to wipe out and it is going to be factory reset. It's a brand new firewall is going to be there. Now we have the dedicated port. Like you want to connect some ISP, you can connect this port, you can connect this port. You can use this DMG port if you want to connect some DMG server, DMG connectivity, you can use that. Similar to LAN, DMG is just like a demilitarized zone where you want to put very sensitive informations and it's very secure information. So you can use the DMG zone. Basically, it is going to help you to just make sure your that particular area is going to be very secure and there is a very high quality of security policy enforcement is going to be happen. And this simple WAN, you want to terminate the ISP, like you want to terminate AT&T, and here you want to terminate like Verizon, so you can do that also. These ports can be used for the any purpose. Means it can be used for the LAN as well. You can use for the WAN as well. It's not very mandatory. I can use just for the LAN only. No, you can use this WAN dedicated port. But if you want to use for the LAN, this can be also LAN. This can be also WAN. It's up to you, right? So generally we have the dual ISP. So use these two ports for dual ISP, and these ports can be used for the LAN. But if you want to use as a WAN also, you can use that. There is no problem at all. Now you can see similarly, we have the LED. There are some LED and you can see different port status, means which port are down, which port are up, where the green light is there, where the red light is there, where the amber light is there. So any warning and all. So we can just figure it out that also from the my physical appearance of the firewalls. And this is something going to give you the power supply status, right? Whether my power is okay or not, overall firewall status, whether it's okay or not. So if red, that means something is bad. If green, that means something is, everything is good. It's a HA. HA is the high ability. So we'll discuss what is the HA. You cannot find the HA configuration here in the firewall. One more thing, guys. This is a very small firewall, so you're not able to see the management interface on this firewall. But let's suppose you have the advanced firewalls, means the high capacity firewall. So you are going to get the one dedicated port, that is the MG-empty port. So this MG-empty port is going to, yes, Ravi, you want to ask something? Hello, Ravi. I believe he is talking someone else. Okay, so if you want to really do some management, like you want to take the GUI access, then you require the management access. So if this firewall doesn't have the management interface, so which port is going to take as management? So by default, port 1, right? So you have this port 1. This port 1 is going to act as a management port. Means whenever you just connect the any cables, it is going to get the, if DSCP server is configured, then it is going to take DSCP IP directly. If you want to convert in the static, that also you can do that. So both options are available here. So let me show you some other firewall. So you can just cross verify what I am trying to make a point here. So let me open this one. So let me see what all have this particular. No, I don't want to buy. Let me see. Let me show you. Yeah. So here you can see. Here, this is the bigger firewall, and this firewall is a 120G. Right. So in this firewall, if you see, right, so we have the lot of ports. Along with lot of ports, we also have some console port here. You can see this is my console port. This is my console port, and also they have the management port, and there are the HA ports also available, right? And some other ports, a lot of ports are available. It's a big firewall. So the more better firewall you're going to purchase, you're going to get more better hardware quality. So why this management port? Management port, if you want to take the CLI access, so you can just go locally and connect the console cable from your PC, And after connecting the console cable, you can take the CLI access to the firewall and you can do the CLI configuration. So you can get this kind of the window. Let me show you. So let's suppose I want to take the CLI access to the firewall. So I just double click on it. And because we are in the virtualization, so we have the virtualization console section here. So I just put username and password, and this is my firewall. So you can run the source system interface. So you're going to find this kind of the configuration. You want to check the port 1 configuration. So you're going to get this kind of configuration. If you want to so system console. So you can see this is system console you have, and I want to let's say we have a lot of configuration, like you want to say some NTP configuration, LLDP configuration, IP configuration. So you have a lot of like configuration you want to see. You can see that if you just run show, so it is going to give the full configuration of the firewall. Just you have to run the command show. So it's equivalent to show run. So you're going to find the full configuration of the firewall. That is all CLI configuration. So I'll even do the step-by-step CLI configuration. So you guys are going to understand how the CLI configuration is going to be happen and how basically this CLI configuration is going to be further converted automatically in the GUI. So basically whatever you're going to make the CLI changes, it is automatically going to reflect on the GUI as well. So let me just show you one example. So let me just show you. So we have to understand how the GUI and how the CLI is going to be look like. So if I go here, so you see this is the IP address management IP of the firewall, like 243. So I just go here and I just log in 243. So we'll start from very scratch, but I just wanted to show you. At least you little bit understand what I'm trying to make a point. So this is my GUI version of the firewall. So I have two version. CLI, how I can take CLI, I require the console. So right now this black and white window is coming from the console. If I want to take GUI access of the firewall, so I can directly connect some PC on this management port, right? And this management port always having the hard coded IP address 192.168.1.99. So you just have to connect this IP, means you just have to connect your PC, and this is the interface IP address. So you can give any IP address on your PC NIC card like 1.100/24. So they are start pinging to each other. And this should be the RJ45 cable. Okay. So once you start pinging to each other, so you can just go in the browser of your PC and you just have to write HTTPS colon and you have to give this IP address 192.168.1.99. Once you do that, you are going to get similar kind of the interface of the firewall. I'll show you from the scratch how day zero firewall can be configured and what is the proper step-by-step process to take the GUIX of the firewall, right? So I hope you guys understand till here. So right now, whatever I have done, that is for the GUI configuration, right? So means I want to take GUI access, the management port is going to require. And this management port by default hard-coded IP, again, I'm writing here 192.168.1.99. If this is the firewall Palo Alto, let's suppose this is not FortiGate, Palo Alto. So Palo Alto management default IP address is 192.168.1.1. This is your Palo Alto. This is for the Fortinet, right? So right now we are talking about the Fortinet. So this is how it is going to happen. HA, I'll discuss. What is the HA? So basically HA is like you can see in this lab also, what is the HA and why this HA port are going to be required. So HA is just suppose this firewall is not available in your network. Just think about this firewall is not available. So what is going to happen? Let's suppose this PC is trying to access on the internet and this firewall is going to be down. Then he is going to lose the internet access, right? So to make sure we require the HA that is a high availability, it is going to make sure to provide the redundancy path to reach. If my primary path is going to down, then I can still reach my destination via the secondary path. So that's why you can see we have the alternate path. If this firewall is going down, then still this traffic will go and talk to the internet servers. So that's why HA come in a picture, and we have the HA link, that is a HA1 link, and that is a HA2 link on the one side of the firewalls. And similarly, it is going to be HA1 link and HA2 link on another side of firewall. So you can just connect the cable from there to there, and they are going to just carry your heartbeat and other information. So let me show you how it is going to be actually look like. So if I go in the network, I'll show you later, but you see here, we have the port 4 and 5. And if I just go, you can see these ports are connected. But if I just want to show you the system, and if I go in the HA, and if I just click in, see here, so 4 and 5, this is for the heartbeat. They are going to exchange the heartbeat. And one, yes, Rajesh.
Yeah, do you have any specific code or we have a different code? HA1,
So
HA2.
see, if you are going to buy the like higher version of firewall, you are going to get dedicated HA ports. Okay.
Okay, okay,
If there is a lower version of firewall, so you can use the normal ports as HA ports. Likewise,
oh,
in particular, we can use
okay,
the my available ports as HA ports, like 4 and 5. These are not HA ports. But let's
oh,
suppose I'm going to buy this firewall, so this firewall have the dedicated HA ports. So I can use that for the my HA connectivity.
okay. So actually, it located one side, two port we have to connect, or how?
So
Normally we connect one to one, right?
see, we can connect one port that is going to work for you. But if you let's suppose you have this firewall and you connected with the one port. Let's suppose you have the another firewall here, right? And this is another HA port. You both connected, right? But this cable is going to down, then your HA is going to break. So you require the redundancy also. So by use
Oh,
of redundancy, you can use another port also where you can just make the connectivity. So if this is going down, this will still going to carry your traffic.
where we have to put anything LACP there, import aggregation
No,
there?
there is no LSAP, just layer 2 ports are going to be configured. No LSAP. There is no LSAP configuration.
Thank you.
So here is the, like we just have, we'll see how the lab is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Okay. So now where I was. So we understand the how the physically firewall is going to look like. And you can see every firewall have the different kind of the data, means data sets. Now, if I talk about how many firewalls model are available in the market. So that also we have to understand. So we have the product matrix, which is basically provided by the Fortinet. And this product matrix, if you're going to read out, so you are going to find different version of the firewall. You can see we have the 40F, 60F, 70F, 80F. And these are the FortiGate firewall top selling model matrix. So if you go below down, you have the 90F, 100F, 200, 400, right? If you go further down, you have the 600, 900Z, 1000F, 1800Z, 2200E. They are the like very big firewalls, like data center firewalls. If you go further down, you have the further 34,100 firewalls, 3300 firewalls. And then if you go down again, we have these all firewalls. So a lot of firewalls are available, different your use case. You can use, this is the high range of the firewall, 7000 series of the firewall. These firewalls can be used based on your requirement. Now, how the requirement is going to be understand. So let's suppose if I am going to read about the 40F, there's the smallest firewall available in the market. So you can see they have the lot of criteria. They have the firewall throughput. They have the IPsec VPN throughputs, IPS throughputs, NGFW throughput, enterprise, threat prevention throughputs, firewall latency, concurrent sessions, new session per second, firewall policies, how many IPsec tunnel can be created, maximum client can be connected, SL VPN throughputs, concurrent user SL throughputs, SL inspection throughput, application control throughputs, how many maximum 40 AP can be connected, maximum 40 tokens, virtual domains, interfaces, how many it is going to be happen, local storage, power supply from factor. So we have a lot of parameters to just compare and variant. So you have to see like, so let's suppose very simple example. If I want to use the 40F and I want to connect the 6 devices through the FortiGate firewall, is it possible? The answer is no, because they have just 5 interfaces available on the 40F firewall. Means you can maximum connect up to 5 network devices. It could be router, could be the switches, could be the AP, and maximum output you are going to get is the 1 Gbps, right? Because 1 gig ports are available. Similarly, if you want to create the firewall policy, you have the limitation. You can create the 5,000 firewall policies. If you have 5,000 one firewall policy you want to create, these all firewall is not going to be supported. See, these all are not going to be supported. How many maximum tunnel IPsec you can create? 200. You can see here. So these all firewall are going to be support 200 maximum IPsec tunnel. Most important, if I want to create the SSL VPN, I can get maximum 490 Mbps bandwidth. If I have the more than 490, I cannot do that. Probably I need to use the 900 Mbps bandwidth. Then I need to purchase the 60F. And also you can see, if I want to use the IPS throughputs, that's 1 Gbps. IPsec VPN throughput, that's a 4.4 Gbps maximum. So you can see also, if you see concurrent connections, so it is a 70,000 concurrent connections, and this all having the 1.5 millions, 1.5 millions. So that means if you have the lower version of the firewall, you always have to read that, what is the throughputs, what is the IPsec maximum capacity, how many my AP can be connected. So maximum 16 can be connected, right? And tunnel is going to be, a tunnel is going to be created from the one AP to connect your 40 basically WLC, basically, which is going to be centralized management. So this is how you can read the product matrix, but this is for the small range of firewall. But if you go for the larger range of the firewalls, if I go down, let me show you. If I go down, let me read one of the high range of the firewall. Let's 7,000 firewall, right? So if I just go and read about the 7,000 firewall, you can see here. Throughput, you can see it's talking about the TBPS. Think about IPsec 800 Gbps. You can see IPS throughput 87 Gbps. Concurrent session 280 million, 1.8 billions. You just compare with the 40G or 40F. It's too less, it's too high. New session per second, 25 millions. So you can think about the performance of 4800. If you just go here, it's a 9 millions, right? So 1 billion. So these firewalls is more capable, right? In compared to these firewalls, right? And also you can see you have the application control 180 Gbps. You have the total AP you can connect 8192. And also you have the tokens 20,000. Virtual domain you can create 50, 500, sorry, 10 to 500. So firewall policy also you can see almost 4 lakh. So this is how you can understand power supply. 4 power supply is there, and variant is DC. Local storage is 4 terabytes. Interfaces you can see, you can get the interfaces 400 Gbps, right? G interfaces, that is 8 interfaces. 12 interfaces is going to happen for the 20 GE, right? And similarly you have the 50 GE 12 interfaces, and also we have the 210G RJ45 interfaces also going to be available. So there are a lot of things you can do in the higher version of firewall. So you guys have to decide always when you have the requirement to decide the firewall, which firewall need to be installed. So a lot of parameter you just have to understand. Means how many users are going to be in my office, how many connection are going to build, how many session are going to build, what is my IPsec throughput is going to be there, how many virtual domain are going to be created for the routing, means just splitting the firewall, how many total AP is going to be required in my office. As per these all homework, you have to decide which firewall is going to be good for you. So always I would request whenever you start, just I will share this product matrix, or you can download from the Fortinet websites, and you try to understand. You just try, means let's suppose you are working on the 40G firewall or 40F firewall or 120F firewall, 120G firewall. So you must have the very good product knowledge as well, what firewall I am using and what is the key feature I have. So at least you can discuss with your managers, your peers, your teammates, or might be your customers. So they will impressed because this person have the very good product knowledge. And if you have the very good product knowledge, you can easily demonstrate your extraordinary skills to in front of the anyone to crack your interview or just showcase you have the very good knowledge. So it's always win-win situation to have the very good knowledge about the any products, right? Is there any question anyone have? बताओ मुझे, guys. Any questions anyone have regarding the product?
Sure, Rajesh.
Rajesh.
Yeah, so particularly for this is for DC, this is for like a spoke location. So, okay, so suppose this is like a simple question. Okay? See, suppose I'm using as a Forti manager, it should be like a installed in a VM, or we have any, we have to use, we can use the hardware as a VM and that Forti manager. This any one of the hardware as a VM.
Forti Manager, I'm going to discuss. Forti Manager, I'm going to show you as well for how Forti Manager is going to look like. Okay. But any firewall can be integrated with the Forti Manager. Any firewall you can integrate with the Forti Manager. Forti Manager is a centralized tool which I'm going to show you right now. And by using that Forti Manager, you have a lot of noise. Can you?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just mute. Just hold on. Give me one
विशाल,
second.
हिंदी
Yes,
मिलेंगे
sir.
क्लास?
Sorry?
क्लास हिंदी मिलेंगे क्या?
समझ नहीं आ रहा आपको?
हिंदी मिलेंगे क्लास के?
Yeah, we can discuss Hindi as well, no problem. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. मतलब anything you not understand, बताओ मुझे आप.
ये जैसे कि आप ये बता रहे थे यही चीज तो यही देख रहे थे आप.
मतलब जैसे मुझे बताइए कि व्हाट यू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड, सो थोड़ा मुझे बता दीजिए ताकि मैं आपको बताता हूँ. कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं है.
नहीं अभी तक समझ में आ गई है, बस यही पर थे कि
हाँ कोई बात नहीं. अभी मैं ना आई एम जस्ट लॉग इन टू द फोर्टी मैनेजर, राइट? सो अभी आई थिंक राजेश हैव आस्क्ड दैट. तो दिस इज फोर्टी मैनेजर, ठीक है ना? सो आई एम जस्ट लॉग इन इट. सो आई विल जस्ट एक्सप्लेन कि फोर्टी मैनेजर होता क्या है एंड हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू बी लुक लाइक. So let me show you. So we'll see this. This is a FortiManager, manager, right? So अभी इसमें आता हूँ. अभी just we discuss about the FortiGate firewalls, right? So we have discussed, we have the lot of models, right? सिर्फ जहाँ भी समझ में नहीं आया ना, just ask me, मैं बता दूंगा, ठीक है ना? कोई अगर चीज लगेगा नहीं समझ में आ रही है मुझे तो. So this is my FortiGate firewalls, and you can see we have the lot of different models. But similarly, we have the Forti managers also. अब ये Forti manager can be hardware, can be the virtual. This one also, right? So Forti manager अभी जो मैंने login किया है, this is my virtual Forti managers. And this Forti manager is a centralized tool. By using that centralized Forti manager tool, we can configure, we can manage multiple firewalls, right? So जैसे डेटा शीट में आप देखोगे यहाँ पे, so you can find that where it is. Means if I'm going to use this Forti manager, we can maximum like device can manage up to 30. If I'm going to use this one, it can be 150. If this is going to be used, then it is going to 1000. If I have the 4000 plus firewalls, then I have to use this Forti manager 3000 G. If I have the 10,000 or 10 to unlimited, then you have to use the like VM based license. So this is what I am using, VM based license. You have just purchased the license, and based on the license you have to pay amount, and then they will give the add the unlimited devices, but you have to pay for that. But if you're going to purchase the hardwares, so these hardwares have the limitations, right? You have to add this much devices, and you have the per day how many data you can GB you can install and just process, and interfaces you are going to get this much interfaces. VM again, see VM have the one just NIC card, and it is going to maximum 4 NIC card, and based on that you can connect the cables. The storage capacity you can see that, right? So this is the Forti manager, is the centralized management tool जहां से बैठकर हम पूरी फाइल को कॉन्फ़िगर एंड डेमोंस्ट्रेट कर सकते हैं. उस जैसे हमारे Forti एनालाइजर होता है जस्ट फॉर द सेंट्रलाइज लॉगिंग एंड रिपोर्टिंग में, जहाँ पे बैठकर कोरिलेशन करके लॉग को हम भेजते हैं, फिर हम वहाँ पे रिव्यू करते हैं व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, हाउ द लॉग इज गोइंग टू बी लुक लाइक. सो दोज इज गोइंग टू बी managed by the centralized logging and reporting. That is the Forti analyzer is the another tool. We'll discuss later. फिर हमारे पास Forti SIEM होता है, जैसे कोरिलेशन एंड रिस्क इवेंट मैनेजमेंट के लिए होता है. ऑथेंटिकेटर होता है, लाइक यूजर को आइडेंटिफाई एंड मैनेज करते हैं. एपीज होते हैं, स्विच होते हैं. So that is not part of our content. Forti sandbox होता है, Forti NAC होता है, Forti client होता है, Forti web होता है, virtual appliances होते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. So basically we have to more focus about the FortiGate firewall, Forti managers, Forti analyzers. That is our main key concept. ठीक है? तो yes, Rajesh, please.
Yeah, one more. See, suppose 40 FortiGate. we have a SD-WAN concept, right? SD-WAN specifically, we can use the particular firewall as a WAN device, or how we have any specific hardware we
In
have.
FortiGate, we have the two component. One is the firewall, one is the SD-WAN, right? So if you want to learn even the SD-WAN, you must have good knowledge about the FortiGate firewalls, because SD-WAN even is going to be integrated with the your FortiGate firewall only. So because of this SD-WAN feature that is going to run under the FortiGate firewall, so you should also have the good knowledge of the firewall. But both are two different technology, but you have to create the policy, you have to create the tunnels, you have to create the SD-WAN fabric, you have to create the routings, and then hub and spoke tunnel, ADVPN concept you have to create. So everything is going to be there. Then only you can build the SD-WAN fabric. Okay, Rajesh? But we are not going to cover in this course
No,
SD-WAN.
no, I'm just asking on the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that it is not part of that. I'm just asking
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
understanding. Understand.
Yeah, yeah. Good. तो anyone else have any question guys, बताओ मुझे आप, क्योंकि I just spoke around 50 minutes. आप लोग मुझे बताओ if you have any question regarding this particular like product matrix, and about that how the firewall is going to look like physically, virtually, and what is the key concept in terms of the making any kind of the port connectivity. Please let me know. बताओ मुझे आप लोग, कोई question है तो.
Vishal, can you please go to that sheet? Okay.
Yes, yes, I can go to code. Yeah, this is the set. Yeah, right.
Yeah, here IPsec VPN throughput means what? And small cloud only. And
So IPsec, let's suppose you want to build IPsec tunnel, right? Let me show you. So if you want to build IPsec tunnel, so how many maximum traffic you can make them? Let me see. This is the IPsec tunnel, right? Side-to-side VPN. So let's suppose you want to build the VPNs, right? Between these two devices.
yeah.
So how many maximum bandwidth they are going to carry? This is all talking about the IPsec throughput. Okay. So this is the IPsec throughput, which is going to be processed via your IPsec tunnel. That is a 4.4 GPS for the 40F.
This means like what TCP sessions, right? Whatever
Sorry?
sessions. The sessions, concurrent
No, no,
sessions.
no. See. The throughput is just think about throughput is basically it is a metric to measure how much data successfully you just transmitted through the network
Force to distribute.
given time period, right? Let's
Yeah.
suppose it's a process. Let's suppose कि अगर आपको इसका throughput निकालना है, so you just have to calculate if I am sending the 10 GPS data from here to here, so how much it is going to take a time to just transmit my 10 GPS data successfully from the one location to another location. So if I'm sending via the IPsec tunnel, so this IPsec tunnel is going to be like used to send your traffic from one side A to side B, and the time it is going to take to just successfully transfer the data from point A to point B, that is known as the throughput. Means what is the maximum throughput, how much time it is just taken. So it's just metric to calculation of the any data which is going to be transferred from one location to another location via any link or any IPsec tunnel. Okay, Rajesh?
Thank you.
See you. Any question आपके दिमाग में question? See you, संजीव, सैयद, विशाल, बताओ.
नो क्वेश्चन।
समझ आया कि नहीं समझ आया? बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आया कुछ भी?
नहीं ओके, यहाँ तक ओके।
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना? ज्यादा फास्ट नहीं किया ना?
नहीं नहीं सर, सही है।
ओके. सैयद, you everything is okay for you as well?
All good, sir.
Okay. ठीक है. So let's connect in next class. Okay. So next class की आप लोग को डेट मिल जाएगी. Initially we'll go in very slow, right? ठीक है. Because we just are doing like small discussion, but after next class we'll start doing the labs, right? जिसमें मैं आप लोगों को I will explain how to deploy the probably next class also I'll show you if I have any firewalls, then how you can deploy, right? And what is the configuration is going to require initial stage to make sure your firewall going to connect for the GUI and CLI both. तो हम ये लैब करेंगे बेसिकली नेक्स्ट क्लास में, और फिर मैं आप लोगों को कुछ ना फायरवॉल्स के फंडामेंटल बताऊंगा. कि how my next generation firewall is going to be look like, what is my packet filter firewall, what is my legacy firewall, what is my next generation firewall. But in the along with that also, let me see where is the, so we have the, yeah, day zero lab. So you can see this is one lab जिसमें हम ये देखेंगे कि how I can configure my firewall from very scratch, right? Means if you have any new firewall, so how I can take the CLI access, how I can take the GUI access, जो भी मैंने बात कर रहा था ना यहाँ पे, जिसमें दिखा रहा था कि we have the console port, we have the management port. So how basically these ports are going to look like and how I can take the firewall access, right? So we'll discuss from here. So प्रबली अभी इस वीक थोड़ी क्लास हमारी रेगुलर नहीं होगी, 3 दिन क्लास होगी, आज हुई, फिर हम वेडनेसडे को करेंगे, फिर हम फ्राइडे को करेंगे, राइट? बट आफ्टर दैट विल डू रेगुलर मंडे टू फ्राइडे 1 आवर सेशन. ओके, क्लियर?
Sir,
नेक्स्ट वीक भी ऐसा
so
हो
next
सकता
class will be on Wednesday, sir. Or how?
Next class will be the Wednesday and the Friday, and after that week we'll start from the Monday to Friday, regular without any
Regular.
delay. Okay?
Thanks.
Yes,
विशाल सर,
yes, संसाग बताइए.
सर हमने वो HTVN का कोर्स किया था ना सर।
हाँ हाँ.
हाँ सर, वो क्या था ना सर कि एक कंपनी में सर इंटरव्यू मुझे देना था। तो मैंने अभी मैं क्या है सर ना कि 6 महीने पहले मैंने एक कंपनी ज्वाइन की थी सर, कोनेक्स। तो यहाँ पर सर ये लोग ना HTVN पे काम करते हैं, बट मेरा काम सर HTVN पे नहीं है, ठीक ना सर। बट मैंने आपसे वो पढ़ा था ना सर, वो सब कॉन्फ़िगरेशंस वगैरह।
हाँ हाँ.
तो मैंने एयरटेल में से मुझे इंटरव्यू देना था सर। तो वहाँ एक रेफरेंस है सर, बट वो सर बोले कि मुझे रिज्यूम में आप लिख के दे दो कि HTVN में आपको क्या क्या आता है। तो
अच्छा.
मैंने वो रिज्यूम बनाया था सर। तो एक बार मैं आपको एक पे शेयर करूँ क्या सर? एक बार आप थोड़ा देख लेते ना सर, कुछ मैं और ऐड कर दूं या नहीं, थोड़ा सा सर, मतलब मेरे को हेल्प हो जाता सर।
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, आप अभी दिखाओ, मैं आप स्क्रीन शेयर करो, दिखाओ.
क्योंकि मैंने उनसे ये भी बोला है कि सर मैं L1 पोजीशन में हूँ, तो HTVN में L1 पोजीशन का जो रोल होता है मैं बस उतना ही काम करता हूँ। तो बोले ठीक है। तो मैं सर एक बार आपको शेयर करूँ क्या? एक बार आप चेक कर लेंगे क्या सर कि जो मैंने
हाँ,
लिखा है सही है या और भी कुछ ऐड ऑन कर दूं?
प्लीज शो मी, I'll just make you like correction if anything required.
हाँ सर, एक मिनट शेयर कर रहा हूँ सर। शेयर इसमें कैसे होगा सर? फोटो डॉक्यूमेंट।
You have option to share. आप देखो इसमें शेयर का बटन आ रहा
हाँ,
होगा.
शेयर पे क्लिक किया सर। इसके बाद सर कहाँ जाऊँ सर?
शेयर फुल कंप्यूटर कर दो, आप कर सकते हो तो.
शेयर
वहां पे लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे एक ऑप्शन आ रहा होगा, इंटायर स्क्रीन। इंटायर स्क्रीन का एक ऑप्शन आ रहा होगा, उसको सेलेक्ट कर दीजिए, हो गया। और नीचे शेयर पे क्लिक कर दीजिए।
मैं आपको को होस्ट बनाऊं शशांक, एक बार देखो, एक बार रुको.
शशांक तिवारी रिज्यूम। हाँ सर, अभी दिखा गया सर आपको?
हाँ, दिखा.
इसमें मैंने सर ये टी लॉक BFD OMP ऐसे कर करके मैंने लिखा है सर। इसमें BGP कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ऐसे भी लिख दो सर, एक बार आप अपने से
पूरा
देख लीजिए सर थोड़ा
पूरा
सा।
दिख नहीं रहा, पूरा दिख नहीं रहा. अच्छा, एक मिनट रुको. लेट मी सी. ओके ओके, कहाँ लिखे हो? अच्छा ठीक है. टी लॉक BFD, राइट? CH, VH ऑनबोर्डिंग प्रोसेस, लोकलाइज एंड सेंट्रलाइज पॉलिसी, IPsec, PMS, V स्मार्ट. ठीक है. फीचर टेम्पलेट, डिवाइस टेम्पलेट इसमें अच्छा आपने लिख रखा, राइट? सर्विस इंसर्शन
हाँ
सब जाने. देखो शशांक, अगर आप इतना
हाँ
भी बताते हो ना, राइट, तो मतलब जितना आपने लिख रखा है ना, जस्ट यू हैव
हाँ
टू
सर।
गो विद द माय वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग, एक बार रिकैप कर लेना. अगर आपने इतना ही बता दिया ना, अगर कि भाई टी
हाँ
लॉक
सर।
क्या होता है, सर्विस VPN क्या होता है, ट्रांसपोर्ट VPN क्या होता है, यू कैन जस्ट ऐड दैट आल्सो. ट्रांसपोर्ट VPN, सर्विस VPN, सारी चीजें हैं. बाकी आपने लोकलाइज पॉलिसी, सेंट्रलाइज पॉलिसी आपने लिख ही रखा है. फीचर टेम्पलेट, डिवाइस टेम्पलेट लिख रखा है.
वो BGP कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं लिखा हो सर, क्योंकि वो हैंड
बीजीपी
ऑन तो नहीं है।
बीजीपी का अंडरले है, बट उस पे बीजीपी आपने ऊपर लिख रखा है ना आपने. सो दैट इज
हाँ
गोइंग टू.
वो तो, हाँ वो मैंने लिखा है सर उसके रिगार्डिंग सर, CCNA के रिगार्डिंग मैंने लिखा है सर वो।
जो हमारे SD-WAN में बीजीपी चल रहा है ना, वो
हाँ
बेसिकली
सर।
अंडरले की तरह चल रहा है, लेकिन इसमें OMP राउटिंग प्रोटोकॉल एक मिसिंग है. OMP राउटिंग प्रोटोकॉल लिख लो यहाँ पे, एक
सर
OMP.
OMP राउटिंग प्रोटोकॉल ना सर?
OMP लिख लो बस, ओवरले मैनेजमेंट प्रोटोकॉल. तो उसकी
जी सर।
ADFD कैसे OMP काम करता है.
OMP लिखा हूँ सर, OMP सर BFD के बाद
अच्छा अच्छा,
लिखा हूँ
ठीक है
सर
ठीक है ठीक है, हाँ ठीक
OMP।
है, OMP भी है. सो OMP का कॉन्सेप्ट भी देख लेना कि किस तरीके से OMP इज गोइंग टू वर्क, लाइक कौन कौन डिवाइस में OMP चलता है. तो ये इंटरव्यू पूछा जाएगा कि बताओ कि OMP प्रोटोकॉल कौन सा डिवाइस में चलता है, IP से टनल किस किस डिवाइस में बनता है. इसमें IPsec आपने लिख रखा. हाँ, IPsec डिवाइस किससे बनता है, डेटा टनल क्या होती है, कंट्रोल टनल क्या होता है आपका, DTLS क्या होता है, TLS क्या होता है. ये सब चीजें ना बिल्कुल कर लेना, ठीक है? तो
हाँ सर।
आपको फिर थोड़ा सा उसमें अच्छा, मतलब वो इम्प्रेशन जाएगा, राइट? बाकी जितना आप लिखा, अगर आपने इतना कर दिया ना,
हाँ सर।
तो गुड टू क्रैक द इंटरव्यू, ठीक है?
और उसमें सर अगर वो ये पूछेंगे कि आप वहां पे अभी करते क्या हो, तो मैं क्या उनको बताऊंगा सर? थोड़ा सा मुझे आप ओवरव्यू एक बार बता दीजिए ना
हाँ
सर,
ठीक है,
क्योंकि मैं
अगर
आईटी
आपसे
करने
एक
पे
क्वेश्चन
काम
पूछा
कर रहा हूँ।
जाता है, ठीक है, तो अभी आप ये बोलना कि बिकॉज यू आर जस्ट गोइंग टू प्रेजेंट फॉर द L1, राइट? तो
हाँ
देखो
सर।
L1 का जो रोल होता है, तो आप ये बोलना कि आई एम जस्ट डूइंग द मॉनिटरिंग, जहाँ पे मैं लॉग्स देखता हूँ, जहाँ पे मैं बेसिकली लिंक यूटिलाइजेशन देखता हूँ, मैं जहाँ पे किसी तरह का ट्रबल शूटिंग होता है, पिंग ट्रेस करना होता है, वो देखता हूँ, किस लिंक से मेरा ट्रैफिक जाता है, ट्रैफिक सिमुलेशन फ्लो मैंने बताया था ना, किस तरीके से देख सकते हैं किस
हाँ
लिंक से ट्रैफिक
हाँ
जा रहा है, किस नहीं जा रहा है,
हाँ
तो मैं वो
हाँ सर।
देखता हूँ, राइट? तो बिकॉज आप L1 पे हो, तो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का राइट तो आपके पास होगा नहीं टेक्निकली,
नहीं।
किसी को भी
हाँ
बोलोगे
सर।
कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करो तो बोलेगा कि ये झूठ बोल रहा है, राइट?
हाँ
तो
सर। हाँ सर।
आप बताओ कि आई एम जस्ट डूइंग द मॉनिटरिंग एंड आई एम जस्ट
हाँ
डूइंग लाइक ट्रबल शूटिंग, जो मेरे स्कोप में आता है। साथ में मैं क्या करता हूँ, L2 L3 के साथ बैठ करना, और जो
हाँ
कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करते हैं उनके सुपरविजन में कई बार मैं कॉन्फ़िगरेशन भी करता हूँ, जैसे फीचर टेम्पलेट बनाना होता है तो मैं वो भी बना
जी
देता
सर।
हूँ। जैसे मुझे राउट का पॉलिसी बनाना है, तो मैं उनके साथ बैठ कर उनके सुपरविजन में बैठ के बनाता हूँ, लेकिन पुश नहीं करता हूँ, पुश उनके द्वारा होता है उनके रिव्यू के बाद, ठीक है ना? तो
ओके
इस
सर,
तरीके से
ओके
आप
सर,
बोलोगे ना, तो उनको लगेगा हाँ यार, ही हैव द रियल काइंड ऑफ द नॉलेज, बट
ओके सर।
इसके रोल की वजह से थोड़ा सा इसके लिमिटेशंस हैं, तो वो कंसिडर
हाँ
करेंगे, आपको थोड़ा वेटेज मिलेगा, ठीक है?
वही सर, मैं सोचा आपसे एक बार पूछ लूं सर,
ना
क्योंकि
ना,
पिछले
गुड
तो
गुड।
कॉन्फ़िगरेशन वगैरह ज्यादा नहीं लिखा सर,
नहीं
क्योंकि
नहीं,
मैंने बोला कि नहीं
ठीक है
ज्यादा
ठीक है,
लिख
शॉर्ट
देते।
ठीक है, इतना काफी है, इतना काफी है।
सर इसमें सर अभी और भी हम लोग क्या पढ़े सर? जैसे मैंने सीसीएनए का जो मेरा कॉन्सेप्ट है ना सर, राउटिंग स्विचिंग का ना, वो मेरा
विशाल
बहुत अच्छा है
रिकॉर्डिंग
सर।
बंद कर दीजिए ना इसमें।
हाँ, ए सॉरी सॉरी, एक मिनट रुके, बंद करता हूँ, सॉरी, एक वेट 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 वेट
मैं ड्रॉप कर दूं क्या?
वेट, रिकॉर्डिंग बंद करता हूँ, रुक जाओ।